I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. Always kiss you soft and sweet, and he swept you off your feet. I'm high, yeah, I'm high, oh, 'cause I'm high.
Hey guys, so it has been a hot minute since I've posted a video. I'm just gonna say that and put that out there right now. I apologize. I started school this semester, so I've been like trying to get into a routine of like filming and editing and homework and school. And also the person who helps me film actually works during the week, so I can only use like the evenings and weekends to film. So it's been like a little bit of a struggle for me to like get everything organized. So yeah, but I actually filmed this video a couple weeks ago and had like mega issues with my editing software, so that's why it's going up late. But let's just treat this as like a last minute DIY Valentine's Day video. All these things are really easy to put together, so they're like things you could do like the last day anyways. So I have some treat ideas, some gift ideas, and some like decor ideas, but they can all be used as like gifts if you wanted to give them to like a friend or a girlfriend or a boyfriend. So I hope you guys will enjoy this, and if you do, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already, please subscribe. That way you'll be updated every time I post a new video. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
3 a.m. I might be looking for a late night.
So this first idea was inspired by edible arrangements. So I have some chocolate dipped strawberries in some Anthropologie mugs here.
And baby, I can get you up.
So the things that I used to make these were some fully cleaned and dried strawberries, some chocolate, and I chose white, milk, and dark chocolate for some variety. And then I also used some cake pop sticks, as well as some microwave safe bowls to microwave my chocolate in, and some floral foam covered in tin foil so that I wouldn't ruin the foam. So to melt my chocolate, I just put it in the microwave at half power for a minute and then took it out and stirred it. So then I just put it back into the microwave for 20 to 30 second increments until it was fully melted. Then I just grabbed one of the lollipop sticks and started skewering my strawberries. And I left the stems on, but you could totally take those off if you wanted to as well. So then I just dipped my strawberries into my chocolate and let them dry. And one tip that's really important when you're doing this is you definitely want to use completely dried strawberries. The water on strawberries will ruin the chocolate and make it like really thick and seize up. Then I just put them into the floral foam and let them dry. So I wanted to dress my strawberries up a little bit by adding some decorative swirls and stuff on them. So I just added some more melted chocolate into some of these piping bags. And normally I would use a Ziploc for this, but I didn't have any. And I just drizzled some chocolate right across the tops of them. So then to assemble my edible arrangements, I have my fully decorated strawberries, as well as some mugs that I have from Anthropologie, and some parsley to kind of go as greenery between the strawberries, and then some floral foam and tin foil to cover up the floral foam. So I cut my foam into some more manageable sized pieces because I actually had a biscuit cutter that was like the perfect size for my mugs. So I just pushed out some pieces and then stacked those on top of each other and then covered them in tin foil. If you don't have a biscuit cutter, you could just use a knife, or you could even just cut it into a square and push that down into a mug. So I'm just grabbing my strawberries and putting one into the middle and arranging the other ones around the center strawberry to make it look somewhat like a bouquet. And then I'm just taking pieces of parsley and stuffing that between the cracks of the strawberries. It's super easy, super fast, and it's one of those things that you could give someone and you just know they're going to love it, because I don't think I've ever met anyone who didn't like chocolate strawberries.
You gotta know how to treat me like a lady.
So this next treat is a cake in a mason jar, which I think is super cute, and especially for Valentine's Day because it can kind of like double as a gift or as dessert, or any reason to have cake in a mason jar is really just a good enough reason for me. So to make these, I used a box of white cake mix, but I'm not following the exact instructions on the back of the box. I used 2/3 of a cup of oil, half a cup of water, and I found these cakes required a little bit more frosting than usual, so I had 2 just in case I would need them, 4 eggs, 1 box of strawberry jello, red food coloring, 2/3 of a cup of pureed strawberries, which I didn't actually puree, I just mashed them with a fork, some decorative pearls, and then some assorted candies to decorate the tops of them. So in my mixing bowl, I combined my cake mix, my jello powder, my eggs, and my water and oil, and then I mixed that all together for a couple minutes and made sure everything was really smooth. And then I added in my pureed or / mashed strawberries and mixed that all together until everything was well combined. Then I preheated my oven to 350 degrees and sprayed my cake pans with some cooking spray so that they wouldn't stick. And then I poured in 1/3 of my batter into the first cake pan. And then after that, I poured in about 15 drops of red food coloring into my batter and stirred that together so that I could create a little bit of a gradient effect with my cakes. And then I poured the next 1/3 into another cake pan. And then for the last 1/3, I added in another 15 drops of red food coloring and stirred that together. These cakes need about 20 to 25 minutes until they're done or until a toothpick comes out clean. So after my cakes were completely cooled, I started assembling them. So I started with the darkest shade of the cake and used a biscuit cutter to cut out the rounds. You could also use like a cookie cutter or even just a knife if you know the shape of the jar that you're going to be using. And after that, I fit my pastry bag with a number 4 Wilton tip. Again, I would typically use a Ziploc bag for this, but I didn't have one. So then I filled up my pastry bag with some of the frosting and piped about 1.5 tablespoons worth of frosting on top of my little round. So then I cut out a circle from the cake that was a shade lighter than the one I used on the bottom and then put that in the jar over top. And then again, I just did another layer of the frosting and finished it off with the lightest shade of cake. And then I just topped it off with some sprinkles and that's it. I think it's perfect for like a friend, a teacher, or even a girlfriend or boyfriend.
When I promise tomorrow, so I'm gonna love you.
So this next DIY is inspired by something that I saw at Target that I thought was really cute, and I wanted to recreate it so I could make it a little bit more personal.
I'm saying goodbye.
So to make this, I used a cheap picture frame that I got at the dollar store and I sprayed the outside of it with some gold spray paint, and then I used some glitter cardstock that I got at Michael's. For my maps, I printed some out that I found online because I wanted them to look a little bit more vintage. So I will link the website that I found these maps on in the description bar below for you guys. And then to make my hearts, I used a heart-shaped cookie cutter. So I started off by taking the back out of my picture frame, and then I took the paper out from inside the picture frame and traced that onto some cardstock. So then I cut that out, and then I went ahead and traced out all of my hearts onto my maps and my cardstock, and then I cut those out. And then after I was done that, I erased any of the pencil marks left over on my maps. And then I took some Scotch tape and wrapped it around itself so I could tape my hearts onto my cardstock. And then this part's optional, but I spray painted my picture frame gold so that it would match my glittery gold cardstock. And then I just finished it off by putting my cardstock into my picture frame.
Before it's all gone.
I wanted to include something that was still in theme with Valentine's Day, but a guy could actually appreciate as well. I saw some pictures online for these chocolate bar bouquets. So these are super inexpensive to make, but they're also really easy. All you need are an assortment of chocolate bars of your choice, and then I used a mason jar vase that I got at Michael's, and to cut out my foam I used a large biscuit cutter, but you could easily use a knife, and then some floral foam to hold these skewers, some tin foil to cover up the floral foam, some duct tape, and then some bamboo skewers. So I started off by cutting my floral foam into some manageable pieces, and then I cut those pieces in half, and then I used my biscuit cutter to punch out my little circle shapes, and then I stacked those pieces on top of each other and then covered them in tin foil, and then I just put that whole piece into my mason jar. So then I just took the bamboo skewers and taped them along the backs of all of my candy bars with 2 pieces of tape to make sure that they were secure. And then to assemble my little bouquet, I added the chocolate bars in, some on more of like the outer corners at an outward angle so that it looked more like a bouquet. And then I tied a ribbon around my mason jar to make it look a little bit prettier.
I won't take you for granted.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you all have a lot of fun on Valentine's Day, even if you're not celebrating with someone, just because, you know what, it's an excuse to have chocolate and candy and sweets, so I'm all for it. So I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.